She's trying to get Hope to come around to get her grain since it's opened up over here for them. Because she can come eat out of the feeder like the boys. Nothing wrong with that. Well, see how this works out. I got my headset on because I know it's noisy in this tractor. I was other side of that tree over there on the first round, and a little smoke coming up around the pipe right at the top of the hood. It's like, And then I realized, yeah, copper anti-seize was burning in. It was just a little whiff. Just kind of like, oh, what the hell? And hey, you can see how good that screen's doing already. Those real grass seeds that would have been stuck in the radiator. I don't know, it looks like we got a bunch of stuff in here that doesn't make real heavy hay, but it's mainly right through here. The rest of it looks like some meadow foxtail, which we normally have in here. A little bit of fescue here and there. I know there's a little ryegrass. I'm not going real fast, but I think it's working it enough. And I'm cutting clean. And I'm still staying in the seat, so. And I really, really wish I would have got a little video making that pass. Because along that fence, all I could see was the tips of the fence posts. And I don't know why. Yeah, I do too. There's a low spot right there and it drowned out. That's what happened there. I was worried I was going to get up in there and get stuck. And I said, no. Shouldn't be that wet up there now because everything else is dried up pretty good. Looking over at the neighbors, you can still see where between the lap and the single spots. And there's a couple spots there that it just doesn't look like it's growing real good. But for the most part, it looks like it's growing all right up there. Oh, anyway. Oh, we got the 27th of May, starting to cut hay, and when I was coming up through that little 3/4 piece, Ron texted me and says, it's raining in St. Paul. Well, St. Paul's about 20 miles that way. We're not supposed to get any rain. Keyword, not supposed to. Oh, and I see I got crows here too at the top of those dead trees right there. A dozen or so anyway. And yeah, I'm laying it out flat. We usually don't lay it out clear flat anymore because usually the ground's too freaking wet when we're cutting. Excuse me. But, you know, that tire's dry. That tire's got a little moisture. Not like normal. I'm not putting any ruts in the field, that's for sure. So, at any rate, getting her done. And everything's going good. Running like 55 pounds of oil pressure. Temperature's still below the green. So, and yeah, I know I'm driving on the windrow. I should have offset the back, but I'm laying it too flat to catch the wings. So that one's off of it. But I gotta be over here or I'll skip some. Their little cutter head stick down there, it's pretty damn close. But I'd rather be an inch or two from it this side than the other side. So, they'll bring you back. Had a couple spots that I kind of had that sinking feeling in my chest. I don't know if you saw it back there, but it looked like there might have been some blow-by. Should look like it here too, right about there. That's from the frickin' mole gopher hills that are through here. It's coming up off the tire. But man, it sure looked like it was coming from underneath the first couple of times. So I'm going to say so far we're good. Everything's still running the same. Well, that's all that stayed on top of there. I finished that piece. She's closing stuff up. We'll let the cows back out here. I still got to come out and straighten that up too. some of that blow by, or some of the dust I was seeing. I think actually it might have been blow by. I stopped and cocked the tie and looked down, and it was doing it. Pulled the dipstick, and yeah, there's some blow by. There shouldn't be. There may or may not be a little moisture. But if there was, I mean, should have noticed something on gauges by now. And look, there's lazy ones that don't know how to go up and get their breakfast in the morning. That one there's the ringleader. Oh, some more laying there on the bank, including the bull. So, anyway, you know, I know I couldn't exactly break it in per procedure, but, you know, ran it, got it warm, called it good, put a load on it, got over an hour of decent load on it, so I don't know yet. And we did do some pressure testing before we finished everything up, and cooling system and crankcase didn't seem to be connected anywhere, so maybe nothing. Hopefully it's nothing. We'll find out. Well, Ty got this thing in the shop while I was cutting, and you know, filters shouldn't be full of shit, but who knows. Problem is low pressure on the remotes, and probable cause points to the screen in here. One would think that if you pull that tube off, which is, it's a pain to get to, pull the filters off is easier. It's just a short piece. There's a hunk of rubber hose at the top. 2 cap screws hold it there. One would think if you take that out, you could slide that screen out. But everything, and I mean everything I have found, says that the engineers fucked that up. You cannot get the screen out that way. Everything I have found, and I don't know how many freaking different blogs I have looked up. And of course, you know, nobody knows anything about these. Everything I found is you take this whole plate off the back, and you know, if you got giant squid tentacles or something, you can reach up to the screen. They say with the camera you can see it, you can get in there and clean the screen. And the other option, yeah, she told me I couldn't get around here. Guess what? I made it. The other option is you pull the shift deal out, and the screen's literally right there. So yeah, you can see it with your eyes without using a camera. You can get right to it. Well, that doesn't look like a fun one either. You know, neither one of those options I like. So, still trying to look into that. And of course, yeah, hear all this crap about NNS tractors open Saturdays now till noon. Yeah, I already called. It's 11:30. You can see through the glare. Yeah, actually I called like 10 minutes ago. They're closed. It's like, really? And I don't know if, you know, new company still left everybody's cell phones alone or what. So I don't know if I can get a hold of the service manager or not and ask him. At least he's been around there long enough that he knows a little bit about these. Unfortunately, there's very few mechanics this end of the country that know anything about them. But yeah, and other things I'm finding that'll cause the same thing as if your pump's toast. I don't think the pump's toast, because if I surge the clutch, it's got enough pressure, but you got to surge the clutch to do it, which tells me it's a matter of suction. I could be wrong. God only knows. Dang, traffic jam. There you go, Matt. There's my traffic report. I knew it. Figured as soon as we tried to go back out, they'd all be coming in. That's okay. They finish coming in, they get locked in, makes it easier. I wasn't sure if we were going to go back out or not, so, let them go out. That'll change here in a couple minutes. They can get locked in. Hopefully they're all coming. I think the last ones are down there the other side of the bridge. I don't think there's any left up in the corner. And that's alright. And I checked everything on this. Engine oil is still right on the money. May or may not have been a little condensation in the tube, but then, having everything apart, doing everything, should just be a little normal. I put about a pint of coolant in, but I expect that anyway, because it didn't get run enough to get all the air out anyway. So hopefully everything's just normal. It's just going to happen until it gets broke in. In the meantime, got to get her broke in. Unless something catastrophic happens before then, we're going to say it's good. Now, if they just hurry up and finish going in. Well, look out. Ty's running it. She's made about 4 rounds. She put my tractor in the shop earlier, fired right up. She went to take it out of the shop, and it didn't want to fire. I don't know. Ended up hooking the pickup to it. It was still clicking, but I clicked her real quick about 6-7 times, and starter connected and took off. So now she can have the shop. She's gonna rotate her tires and change the oil in her car. Gotta do that stuff once in a while. Well, I'm still going. Most of this doesn't look too bad. Strip on the south side though, I'm finally kind of getting out of it. A little lighter. Almost out of it actually. Right here it's pretty good. It's as tall as the main frame. But down here, a little thinner and a little shorter. And it was a lot longer stretch. Yeah, I'm starting to get out of it now. It's up there. It's gotten taller through there, but there's about 8 passes. Doesn't look near as good. I mean, it looks good. It's just not near as tall. And I am past where I then found the soft spot last year. That was about 5 or 6 rounds ago. Finally finding a little moisture here and there from the gopher holes. But most of them are dry. Going really good. Everything here is still going good. Temperature staying steady right where it's at. Oil pressure is too. I haven't noticed any blow-by since I came back up here, other than what was obviously dust. So I really don't know what the blow-by was about earlier. Plus, just hadn't quite, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing coming out the exhaust. The blow-by was definitely blow-by, but maybe they just hadn't set good enough yet. I don't know. I know it happens. Just, always kind of back of your mind going, God, I hope we didn't miss something. I know guys that have done that too. Usually it's something really obvious. They just totally overlook it. That's one reason I check everything. Kind of anal that way. I'm trying not to bounce around, honest. Yeah, and then I'm debating. Do I cut the other piece over there today, or do I wait? I mean, late enough in the day, but it's also early enough in the day that I can get it done. Just not sure what to do. And not being sure on that 3394, we may be throwing the duals back on the 2294 to run the big baler. Not that I want to run that tractor that much. Now, it needs a cab kit. We really need to take everything apart upstairs and pull all the AC stuff out and clean underneath it. That tractor came from Portland Meadows Racetrack, and the sand they used for the track came out of the Columbia River in the same place that the city of Portland dumped all the ash from Mount St. Helens. So it wasn't just sand, it was a lot of ash. And that stuff sets up like concrete after a while. So the drip pan would be underneath in here. All the condensation is supposed to drip onto and then run down drain tubes down the corner posts. That drip pan isn't a pan anymore. So when you get a spike in humidity, it rains through the vents. And it's been that way forever. Luckily today, so far, the AC in this one's working okay. This thing had great AC when we still had R12. But then when you had to convert stuff, when you needed to work on them, R134 sucks. And now they've kind of thought, oh, well, all the BS and environmental crap they said about R12 was just a bunch of crap. But you can't get R12 unless you're lucky enough to find some warehouse that still has a few models of it. And we don't have anything around R12 anymore. And then the newer stuff that they're putting in cars now, yeah, if we got to convert to that, may as well just take the cab off. It'd be more comfortable. Anyway, we'll see what happens. My caller good that those cows have some pasture back again. Not that there's anything there for them, but at least they can be out. And make sure Ty's got stuff going good with her car and that kind of thing. I don't feel like bouncing around for another couple hours. On my shorts, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of his YouTube name, but it comes up his own name as Adam or something. Sorry, Adam. He was hoping that this was going to be enough. First disc mower we had was a 1327 John Deere. We had a 7050 Alice Chalmers that we ran it on, and it was down in the rebuild. So we put it on a $200 Chalmers that had been rebuilt and bumped up. The 200 was running 120 horsepower at the PTO. And I pulled in the little triangle piece that the cows have for pasture at the moment. I set her down and I went to start moving and I made her 10 feet, shut the tractor down. And I went, well, this ain't gonna work. I literally ended up cutting the whole field. That and the triangle piece I cut this morning used to be all one piece. I cut the whole thing with the mower all the way up in the air. And then I got done and I started from scratch and I went back to the beginning and set it down and I went down a gear and I cut the whole thing again. Needless to say, we needed that tractor to bale with anyway, so we waited on cutting anything until we had the 7050 back. So they do take a little power, especially in, John Deere at the time said an 80 horse tractor would run it. And I call bullshit on that for this part of the country. But then keep in mind, all their testing was like in the Midwest and stuff was 2 tons of the acre hay, and they typically run 4 to 5 ton to the acre hay. Except for the last few years, we've been 2.5 to 3, mostly 2.5, which sucks. But anyway, just a tidbit on the power of these do take. And I got 3 more corners, and I'm done. Oh, I got the back swap to do. Don't want to forget that. That's a bad thing when you forget that. I was a little slow. I didn't get the Tahoe backing out of here, but yeah, she got the oil changed, rotated her tires. Of course, she parked her. We can't see it. It's right over there. Got her CV back in it finally, and changed her horn. Seems that GM had issues with some horns, I guess. The new ones are clocked different. Instead of being pointed straight out, they're pointed on an angle. One of the videos I was looking, trying to figure out how to get the horn out of there. The guy said, yeah, you can see where water had gotten. It looked like water got into them. So I'm guessing maybe that's why they clocked it different on her new one. But if you look up and try to find this, all I was finding was 2019 Silverados, and they showed a totally different mount, probably the same POS horns. Passenger side just in from the headlight behind the grill. And they say, oh, you got to take the whole grill out. Well, the guy changed it from above. He just took the top piece out, reached down. But they don't give you any extra wire at the wiring harness. Like literally, you cannot move the horn out. You can drop it down, but you can't pull it up at all until you get it unplugged. So on this one, this sits on the driver's side of the radiator. Radiator would be right here. Take the auxiliary battery pan out and take the top bolt loose on the windshield squirter tank to lean it ahead. And she got it out. I had to unplug it for her. This one of them I think is working right, the other one's not, and that seems to be what happens. Yeah, what do you know? It's 2019 and this is 2023 and the horn hasn't worked in 2 years. It hasn't worked right. I mean, it still makes noise, but she said it sounds like a little Prius. So she's happy now. And like I said, she's got her CV back at her car finally. So that's what she was doing while I was cutting hay, and then I ended up coming to help her. Go figure. So anyway, that's the end of the day. Been a pretty decent day, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to cut that other piece tomorrow, or we may let it wait a day or two, because we got so many other things to get repaired and hooked up and whatever else. I'm not going to find anything on that sucker till probably Tuesday. That's a bad thing about a holiday weekend. We closed today instead of being open today, and I'm sure they won't be there till Tuesday. Life in the fast lane, unless I could find something on the intercourse net. That's been kind of hard to find. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all had a good Saturday. Hope everybody has a good Sunday.